I think it was honestly, out of everything I've ever done in my life, the greatest experience of my life as a whole thing. Never done anything like that, never lived with strangers, and never expected a stranger just to pick me up from the airport and be there, just because they like my music and look after me, open up their home to me. So that was a whole new thing, just even that. They played free gigs every night, which definitely, I have ongoing battles with every promoter that puts on a gig for me that I want tickets to be cheaper, because I find it really difficult that I've come, I guess, all this way and travelled so far, and then if I got one tweet from someone today saying I wish I could come tonight but I'm just too poor to come, and that just breaks my heart, because I haven't come just to play to people who can afford music. So I guess that's why the entrance was free entry. Well, it kind of it spiraled. I woke up one day and definitely wanted to go to Latin America and wanted to go and tour there. I think then when I couldn't get any gigs, no one would book me gigs because I wanted them to be free entry, so no venues would book me. Then it became difficult. Then I was that spiraled into my fans are going to have to help me, and then fans from tiny places, tiny towns in the middle of Argentina or in the middle of Chile were asking me to come to their towns, and then I felt really bad because the whole point of the trip was to try and make fans feel important in places where they might not feel important, just for that one moment. And then if I got a message from someone saying, look, I've never been able to go to a live gig ever because I can't afford to get on a plane and everyone always goes to Rio, or they go to Sao Paulo but I don't live there. That again was Jesus, man, I need to do something about that. So then I ended up, in tiny towns, unexpected things happened, I guess. I think there's nothing, and also I never really realised I had any power to make my fans feel anything, and just by turning up to their house and getting on a bus and then being there could make someone feel something so strong, and that I never realised that was possible. Do I believe in second chances? Yes. I do, but I think they're harder than you realise. You kind of go, no, I'm going to be different this time, and it's going to be different, but actually sticking to it is what's really difficult, I think. And a lot of times with a second chance, I think there's a lot of change that needs to happen, and that's what's difficult about them, but I do believe in them. I always want to go for the song that I think will mean the most to somebody, and I think Moirai is the song that I'm most proud of writing, because it's talking about something that I think a lot of people, or some people, will have experienced what I'm trying to say in it, and I feel very sad that people have experienced it, but I guess Moirai is the Greek god in charge of your fates, and sometimes I used to say, it wasn't meant to be if things didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to. The more people I've met in the world and the more stories I've heard of what real heartbreak and sorrow people have had to go through in their lives, it really made me question the whole thing, really. Fate, if that really is somebody's fate, I'm not sure if it is. And I also think a lot about lost love, a great book as well, A Thousand Splendid Suns, which kind of talks about that, about maybe that was the one, maybe you should have been together, but it was wrong time, and I don't believe that wasn't meant to be in a way. I just think it's sometimes can just be plain simple and unfair. And so that song, I feel like when I ever would explain that on stage and play it for people who've never heard it before, I can see the odd person deeply connect to it, and for that, I think it's my favourite song just for that person. All the time. Because I had this really bad jet lag, not last night, the night before we flew to Osaka, and I was lying in bed just thinking, and I can't remember what happened, and I was thinking, I'm so terrible, no one's going to come to my gig, and what am I doing, and so it's, all the time I'm probably 90% doubtful and unsure of my ability, and 10% feel good about it. Having someone sit down and talk to you about my music. It's like it's like a kind of self-indulgent trip really, because I really needed that, because I was at a point where I was like, I don't know if I'm any good at this, and whether I should just quit and just the music, or does the world even want it? So I really needed at that point in my life to be told that somebody did. I guess it's the same message that I'm giving myself every morning, in a way, which I guess is kind of the message of the second chance, which is saying, when you get older and you look back at photos of yourself, you will 100% say, look how lovely I was. And you'll look at yourself adoringly when you're older and at your younger self. So try to have that hindsight now and believe in the good you are, and believe in the person that you are. But it's really hard. And I wish I had the answers.